आज वर्ल्ड टाइगर डे पर इसी टॉपिक पर, इसी विषय पर विस्तार रूप से और चर्चा करने के लिए हमारे साथ स्टूडियो में हैं सौमित्र दासगुप्ता जी। आप डायरेक्टर हैं इंटरनेशनल बिग कैट अलायंस के। बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका।
स्वागत है आपका। सर, जैसे हम बात करते आ रहे हैं तो चर्चा की शुरुआत भी यहीं से करते हैं कि भारत का रोल बाघ संरक्षण में बहुत अग्रणी रहा है। इसके पीछे सबसे बड़ा कारण क्या है और कौन कौन से ऐसे कदम उठाए गए हैं इसको आगे और बढ़ावा देने के लिए?
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई थिंक आपके माध्यम से हम पूरे जो टाइगर रेंज कंट्रीज़ है, इवन विश्व को कंग्रेचुलेट करने चाहते हैं रिगार्डिंग दिस ग्लोबल टाइगर डे। And this is a very important day for wildlife conservationists, for coming together and reaffirming our commitment for conservation of tiger. So सबको बधाई हमारे तरफ से, हमारे जो इंटरनेशनल बिग कैट अलायंस है उनके तरफ से। भारत ने अव्वल भूमिका लिया है टाइगर कंजर्वेशन में, बल्कि for entire wildlife conservation India has taken a very primary role for bringing back the wildlife again into its own position. And Tiger, the Project Tiger, it was initiated in 1973. And uske baad se we have seen number of ups and downs.
Yes.
And that obviously was the reason that the St. Petersburg meeting that happened in 2010. और हमारे 2010 के बाद से एक कमिटमेंट लिया गया था कि टाइगर नंबर्स को ट्वाइस करेंगे, 2 times करेंगे। सो देयर वाज अ कमिटमेंट बाय द टाइगर रेंज कंट्रीज इन दैट कॉन्फ्रेंस बाय 2018 द नंबर ऑफ टाइगर्स विल बी डबल्ड। इनफैक्ट आप खुश होंगे ये जान के कि भारत ने जो नंबर उस समय था उसका डबलिंग जो 2022 में होना था उसको 2018 में हासिल कर लिया था। सो दैट वाज अ फैंटास्टिक न्यूज़ एंड इन फैक्ट the support that we are getting from the policy makers, the lawmakers is I think the cutting edge and differentiates India from other countries. And that is perhaps the reason for which we have now 58 tiger reserves in the country, the last being Madhav, and that has increased in a phenomenal manner in the last 10-13 years. And the number of tigers, as you have already said, it's close to 3,700 now, and perhaps the new numbers that will be released very soon will be crossing that number once again. So, and the best thing that has happened with India, is to have लोगों को साथ लेके चलना। भारत जैसा एक देश है जिसमें population numbers are huge, so लोगों को अलग करके कोई conservation हो नहीं सकता। तो ये जो theory, ये जो policy हमने अपनाया है और पूरे विश्व को दिखाया है कि लोगों को लेके कैसे कंजर्वेशन, संरक्षण किया जा सकता है, दैट इटसेल्फ इज एन एग्जाम्पल फॉर मेनी टू फॉलो। और ये सब देखते हुए हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी 2023 जब 50th एनिवर्सरी हम लोग मना रहे थे ग्लोबल टाइगर डे के, तो उस मतलब प्रोजेक्ट टाइगर, तो उस समय उन्होंने ये ऐलान किया कि भारत के जो एग्जाम्पल हमने सेट किया है कि नंबर बढ़ाना, प्रोटेक्शन एरिया बढ़ाना और साइंटिफिक मैनेजमेंट करना, उसको देखते हुए सारे विश्व को ये भी दिखाना है कि भारत क्या कर रहा है और वाइल्ड लाइफ कंजर्वेशन इन जनरल एंड टाइगर कंजर्वेशन इन पर्टिकुलर कैसे भारत जैसा सभी देशों में किया जा सकता है। तो उन्होंने लॉन्च किया।
सर, बात से आगे बढ़ते हुए जानना चाहेंगे कि टाइगर रीलोकेशन भी इसका एक बहुत बड़ा भाग रहा है और पूरे विश्व की नजरें थी हिंदुस्तान पर, भारत पर, जब ये टाइगर रीलोकेशन के वेरियस प्रोजेक्ट्स आगे आए निकल के। इसके बारे में आप क्या कहेंगे? हाउ important has this step been in tiger conservation?
Yeah, just I would like to finish what I was saying is that the Honorable Prime Minister launched the International Big Cat Alliance in 2023. So that is another landmark event for the global big cat conservation, and India is taking a leadership in this regard as well. So that is very important for us, for the entire international community, for conservation of wildlife, at the same time of conservation of big cats. Now coming to the question जो आप पूछ रहे हैं, yes, there are many reasons for the success of tiger conservation. One of the reason was also relocation. So आपको याद होगा कि सरिस्का टाइगर रिजर्व, which is very close to Delhi, in Rajasthan, the numbers dwindled to such an extent that people were reporting that there are no tigers there. so about 20 years back. But relocation has turned the situation totally around. Okay, and now we have good number of tigers, close to 30 if my figures are correct, and they are thriving in Sariska. So that happened due to the relocation, the rewilding of tigers. The same thing happened in many other tiger reserves. And I'm also very proud and happy that I served in West Bengal. So Baksa Tiger Reserve, which is also facing the similar situation that Sariska faced 20 years back, will be having tiger once again through the process of rewilding. So that is a very happy news, and this is absolutely correct, the question that you have asked, that this is also one of the reason for the success of tiger conservation in the country.
सर, हम बात करते हैं कोएग्जिस्टेंस की, और हम कहते हैं कि बाघ अगर सुरक्षित हैं तो हमारा जंगल सुरक्षित है, और अगर जंगल सुरक्षित है तो हम सभी जानते हैं कि हमारा भविष्य भी सुरक्षित होता है। लेकिन अगर हम सहज सरल तरीके से अपने दर्शकों को ये बताना चाहें कि बाघ कितने ज़रूरी हैं हमारे इकोसिस्टम के लिए, तो प्लीज़ हमें बताएं।
इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन। जैसे आप जानते होंगे कि एक बाघ बचाने का मतलब है एक इकोसिस्टम को बचाना, और एक इकोसिस्टम का बचाने का मतलब है कि देयर आर ह्यूज नंबर ऑफ इकोसिस्टम सर्विसेज व्हिच कम्स आउट ऑफ फॉरेस्ट और टाइगर रिजर्व्स, लाइक सॉइल कंजर्वेशन, मॉइस्चर कंजर्वेशन। कई सारे नदियाँ का जो सोर्स पॉइंट है, दीज आर ऑल ओरिजिनेटिंग फ्रॉम टाइगर रिजर्व्स। कार्बन के बारे में आपने बहुत सुने होंगे, कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन, कार्बन स्टोरेज, ऑल हैपेंस इन huge manner in the tiger reserves and the landscape where the tiger lives. So by saving a tiger is actually not only saving the symbolic animal, but actually you will be saving the entire ecosystem. And once you save the ecosystem, you are ensuring huge number of ecosystem services for the mankind. So in one word you can say that yes, when you save a tiger, actually you are saving yourself. So this is the understanding that one should have, to take forward tiger conservation in the future. और जैसे कि मैं बता रहा था कि human tiger coexistence is very, very important, especially in countries like India and Southeast Asia where populations are very high. And tiger lives in the forest, and the population in these remote areas where there are forests are also very high. So just thinking tiger conservation in isolation would not be wise. So India has propounded this theory, practiced this theory, and has come out successful in involving people in tiger conservation. And that is also one of the change that India has brought about.
Taking from your conversation, sir, local communities have in a way become partners in restoration of tiger, conservation of tiger. तो local communities की जो पहल है या उनका जो योगदान है, उसको आप कैसे देखते हैं?
Enormous. मतलब जैसे हम बता ही रहे हैं आपको कि लोकल पार्टिसिपेशन के अलावा हमारे जैसे देश में कंजर्वेशन करना नामुमकिन है। सो यू हैव टू हैव पीपल बाय योर साइड। लोग जो जंगल के इर्द गिर्द रहते हैं, लिविंग इन क्लोज प्रॉक्सिमिटी, दे आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन फॉरेस्ट, ओके, and they are the first barrier against unscrupulous elements. But the protection में these local communities, the indigenous people, they are the first barrier, protecting the forest and the animals, including the tiger. Secondly, they are repository of traditional values and knowledge for conservation. So from there we learn many things, and we have still got to learn many other things. This is the second cutting edge, the involvement of the local people. And local people, is a force, the man force that you require for protection of a tiger reserve is also very, very important. So they are involved in ecotourism, they are involved in protection duties, and they are involved in any other duties that are being asked from them, and they do it. And this is the example that India has set, and that has to be followed by other countries to be successful like India. And in fact, you may have heard about a policy called Joint Forestry Management System in India. Joint forestry means not only the forest officials or the government officials takes the call in managing the wildlife areas or tiger reserves. They are also contributed by the local villages, the local population. They form joint forestry management committees to manage, to plan, to execute, to protect and conserve the animal. So that's a beautiful system that we have devised, and that I think is an example which we would like to disseminate from International Big Cat Alliance for other big cat range countries to learn and practice.
और सर वापस आ जाते हैं हम आज के दिन पर, विश्व बाघ दिवस पर। आज के दिन IBCA क्या क्या स्टेप्स ले रहा है या क्या नए आयोजन है जो वो कर रहे हैं?
International Big Cat Alliance is actually it's moving in a very fast and very effective manner. We have big support from our Honorable Prime Minister, our Minister in the Environment Forest Ministry, and कितना 2 साल हुए होंगे, 2024 में I think it was constituted formally.
Right.
And today, if I remember correctly, the numbers, we have 32 countries who have joined formally by signing the the agreement.
Right.
Okay, instrument of accession. They have already signed and become members. So in that way, the number of members, if you see, it's moving in the right direction, in the right pace. And secondly, we have embarked upon disseminating the good practices that we have learned from the Indian experience. और वो हम बाकी देशों को दिखाना चाहते हैं, सिखाना चाहते हैं। एक प्लेटफॉर्म हमारा ये तैयार हुआ है इंटरनेशनल बिग कैट अलायंस, जिसमें हम बाकी देशों का 95 रेंज कंट्रीज़ है इसमें इंडिया को मिला के, तो उसमें हम कैपेसिटी बिल्ड करेंगे। मैनेजमेंट इंटरवेंशन जो इंडिया ने जितना हासिल की पिछले 20-25 सालों में, उसका डिसेमिनेट हम करेंगे इन देशों में। और one of the most important thing that wildlife conservation and tiger conservation suffers is the lack of resources. So this platform will also be responsible for bringing resources for big cat management all across the globe. It starts from Latin Americas, it passes through the Middle East, and then in the Southeastern Asia. So in this 95 range country, we have embarked upon with a should I say conviction that we will be turning around the situation what it is now in the coming years. So that's how it has been formed, and we expect a lot of good wishes from people like you so that we can move forward.
All our good wishes are with you, sir. We would also like to dig a little deeper into tiger conservation only. Scientific management and strong policy support, how important do you think is it for tiger conservation?
That's very important, and it's a very important question that you have raised. जैसे भारत में हमने जो सफलता हासिल की है, उसमें जैसे लोगों का इन्वॉल्वमेंट इज़ वेरी इम्पॉर्टेंट. सेकंड इज़ द पॉलिसी डिसीजंस. The other thing is scientific management, and as I've said, the human tiger coexistence. These three are the basic pillars of success in tiger conservation. Bharat mein policy decisions have been taken in the right time and in the most effective manner. If you look back in the early 2000s, when the situation was not all that good, the policy makers brought about the formation of National Tiger Conservation Authority. So that was a landmark event, that changed the entire scenario of tiger conservation in the country. Followed by there was a huge poaching which was going on, and in that particular time we also created the Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. So that is also as per statute in the Wildlife Protection Act, and that actually again helped a lot in conservation of animals, especially the tiger. And another thing which India is very proud of is to have a institute called Wildlife Institute of India. So that they have got many staffs and scientists come from different countries for getting trained in wildlife management, tiger management in this institute. So this institute is also providing us with the scientific technical support for tiger conservation. They have a tiger cell there, and I think the scientists in the Wildlife Institute of India are playing a tremendous role in providing the support for conservation. So one of the success story is also the support that we are receiving from the technical side from the Wildlife Institute of India. So for all, when you sum it up, it's lucky that we have got all such kind of policy support, the human tiger coexistence and the Wildlife Institute's support. These are all led to the success of not only tiger but also for many other animals. And we have turned the tide from the brink of disaster to the present state, which is a success story which we can tell the world that come and learn from us.
Right, sir. Also, sir, habitat loss is also one thing that is a major challenge that tigers face. तो इसमें IBCA क्या काम कर रहा है कि habitat को कैसे वनों को संरक्षित रखें?
land is, the authority of land is the state. Okay, so International Big Cat Alliance will be providing the policies, the finances, and the technical support, because in our team we have got technical experts from Americas, from Africa, from Southeast Asia. So they will be providing, information and technology for improvement of the habitat and how to deal with, issues which are concerning the habitat.
Right.
So one of the thing which again I would go back to the success story of India, which we would also like to, practice from International Big Cat Alliance, is the, moving together hand in hand, conservation and development. Okay, so you must have heard about, linear infrastructure policy that has happened in India, wherein, developmental activities happening in India, in tiger reserves, maybe in wildlife areas. And the linear infrastructure policies include the creation of underpasses, overpasses. Just a few months back, the Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated, I think, a road from here to Dehradun, where you can reach within 2 hours, and they are overpasses which has been created. So these are all wonder stories, and these passes are being frequently now being used by the animals. So the animals are also existing. The development is also happening.
Right.
Okay, so these are all examples that we would like to propagate in other countries, because many countries like India, they are aspirational. They want to develop, and for development you have to build your infrastructure. So these policies that we have learned and have been successful can also be replicated in other countries. So International Big Cat Alliance would like to modulate all these actions and try to disseminate these actions in the countries where they will be taking up big cat conservation in the future.
सर, आपका इतना बड़ा करियर रहा है, अलग अलग जगहों में अलग अलग पदों पे आप रहे हैं, आपके एक्सपीरियंस में से अगर कुछ आप हमारे साथ साझा करना चाहें, जैसे सुंदरबन का एक एक्सपीरियंस आप हमें बता रहे थे, उसके बारे में कुछ बताएं।
सुंदरबन में तो बहुत सारे एक्सपीरियंसेस है। सुंदरबन में मिथ्स भी बहुत है जी। जैसे लोग बताते हैं कि मास्क पहनना, टाइगर सामने से अटैक नहीं करता है, तो इसलिए मास्क जो है वो पीछे लगा लेते हैं।
अच्छा।
तो सामने भी फेस है, पीछे भी फेस है, सामने रियल फेस है और पीछे मास्क लगा हुआ है। But these are all myth. It doesn't happen like that.
Right.
So, but what I have seen is that Sundarban is such a place which is the only mangrove tiger land in the world. Sundarban means India and Bangladesh. It's about 10,000 square kilometer, and it's a wonder landscape. And it's a mangrove land, and mangrove, you may be knowing that it sequesters carbon perhaps 4 times more than any other species. So in that way is also very important. And one saying which used to happen, and we also used to tell others, because whenever they used to come to Sundarban, उनका यही पूछना था कि बाघ नहीं दिख रहा है। तो हम बताते थे बाघ दिख तो नहीं रहा है, लेकिन बाघ आपको दिख रहा है,
देख जरूर है,
आप नहीं देख पा रहे हो जरूर, क्योंकि उसका जो वेजिटेशन है वो इतना थिक है। नॉट लाइक अदर मेनलैंड इंडिया सिनेरियो वेयर दिस ड्राई डिसिडियस फॉरेस्ट लाइक रणथंबोर, कॉर्बेट also. I think you can see the animals. Sighting is much more easy, but in Sundarban is not that easy. Only when the tiger swims from one forest to another, then only there are possibilities. I mean, sighting is more in that way rather than seeing the tiger in the land. So that is one thing that I can tell you. Otherwise, if you have time, I have so many stories to tell.
Because sir, अलग-अलग जगहों पर हम I think we have 18 states जिसमें टाइगर रिजर्व्स हमें देखने को मिलते हैं, और उसमें से कॉर्बेट में द डिफरेंट तरीके का टाइगर दिख रहा होता है, उसका चलने का तरीका डिफरेंट होता है। वहीं अगर हम दूसरी ओर सुंदरबन की अभी आपने बात करी, वहाँ पे अलग होता है। तो इस तरीके कैसे डिफरेंसेस देखने को मिलते हैं हमें टाइगर्स में?
एक्चुअली स्पीसीज तो एक ही है, पैंथेरा टिग्रिस स्पीसीज है, बट जैसे they are all living beings. They just like us, they adapt themselves. So the mainland tigers are slightly bigger in size because they have more territory to move. Okay, perhaps the better prey facilities, and the conditions are less stressful. But in places like Sundarban, conditions are very stressful. The entire ecosystem is saline. So you come to think of a human being left in that particular area, he will not be able to exist there for more than 7 days. But these animals are persisting there for the last so many centuries in that condition. Not only tiger, the spotted deer, the wild boar, the same animals which are found in mainland India are also found there. So due to these stressful conditions, they adapt themselves. And for this adaptation, maybe when you compare with the size of Sundarban tigers will be slightly lesser, smaller in comparison to the mainland.
सर, आज के इस खास मौके पे विश्व बाघ दिवस पे ये भी जानना चाहेंगे कि आने वाले कल के लिए हम कैसे तैयार हो रहे हैं, बाघ संरक्षण की ओर हमारे क्या कदम हैं, एंड व्हाट आर द पॉलिसीज एंड प्लान्स फॉर द कमिंग फ्यूचर?
Let me tell you, the theme of the Global Tiger Day for 2026 is securing the future of tigers through the participation of indigenous people and local communities. So that statement is a huge statement, and that obviously means that we are saying that we have the success of लोगों को साथ में लेके चलना, बट फ्यूचर भी यही है, लोगों को और भी साथ में लेके चलना है, क्योंकि लोग इंडिजिनस पीपल जिनके पास इतने कल्चरल ट्रेडिशनल और वैल्यूज़ है, तो उनसे हमें बहुत कुछ सीखना है, उनको इन्वॉल्व करना है और उनको साथ लेके हमें आगे बढ़ना है। और आज के दिन में तो हम 58 टाइगर रिजर्व्स है, and I think if I remember correctly, the total area which is covered is mind-boggling. It's about 85,000 square kilometer. So हमें और भी इस एरिया को बढ़ाना है, और जो टाइगर एरियाज है, जैसे मैंने आपको बोला बक्सा टाइगर रिजर्व, पालामऊ करके एक है बिहार में, तो देयर कंडीशंस ऑफ टाइगर has to be improved through introduction, rewilding, etc. So that is what we are planning in the future. And policies are all there, and policies are dynamic in nature. जैसे जैसे रिक्वायरमेंट होती है उसी के हिसाब से हम पॉलिसी को चेंज करते रहते हैं, वाइल्ड लाइफ एक्ट को अमेंड करते रहते हैं, तो उसके हिसाब से पॉलिसीज़ का भी सपोर्ट भारत में मिलता रहा है, पॉलिटिकल सपोर्ट 100% मिलता रहा है, फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट भी मिल रहे हैं। सो ऑल इन ऑल आई थिंक द फ्यूचर लुक्स वेरी ब्राइट, बट एज आई सेड लोगों को जुड़ना है, जैसे इंडिजिनस पीपल, लोकल कम्युनिटी, और इनके साथ साथ जो सिविल सोसाइटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी है, मतलब जो शहर में रहते हैं, उनका भी रोल कम नहीं है, उनका भी सेंसिटाइजेशन, उनका भी इन्वॉल्वमेंट आर ऑल रिक्वायर्ड। And another thing that I would like to say is that the involvement of the forces, the legal departments, they have also supported us tremendously, in the pursuit of conservation. So that is also perhaps one of the factor which is responsible for the success story that we have.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for coming here and sharing such important thoughts with us. बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं IBCA को हमारी ओर से, और एक बार फिर विश्व बाघ दिवस पर हम सभी की ओर से आपको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं।
Thank you for joining us.